by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Now the Ukraine, and St. Patrick's name is now Zelensky.
Hyperbole. It's about being made in America. A lot of that has to do with this industry.
I don't even have to play anymore.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny as could be.
You should do that one at the end, right? And then, but right before that one, you should do the one where he's trying to compare America to whatever the hell when he's on the walk with Xi Jinping for like 30,000 miles or whatever the hell.
17,000 miles. He over and over and over again repeats himself 17,000 miles. He's told this story several times. You know who actually tells the story of this, whatever? If you Don't Walk Run Productions from today actually put up a good one and actually covered this lie of the 17,000 miles. If anybody's paying attention to this, they should actually go check out Don't Walk Run Productions and check out his video from today. It was great. We kind of covered it the other day or whatever because there was a clip, that 18-second clip that was going around about the one word, and then he goes and I was on the foothills of the Himalayas. It's changed. Right. That one word was a gobble of trash, and well, it's like when you actually figure it out, it's the possibilities that everybody has. So I mean, he actually Don't Walk Run Productions. Check it out. It's great. He does an awesome little clip on it or whatever. I really like his stuff. There's a couple people, if you're not watching their content, you're not paying attention. But what we're here for today is we're going to actually we're going to do the Trump rally from the other day. I know it's a little late in the week or whatever. Normally I try doing it within a day or two. I just didn't have a chance, so today was the soonest that I could. So then each show, when I was doing the last 3 shows or whatever, we were doing something that we were reading the paper or whatever. I'm going to continue to do those because they tend to work out fine. And I was going to introduce myself as the one and only, because that's the way I always did it. And I kind of come up with a new one for the AmericaShirts. So then it would be everyone's best friend, AmericaShirts.com.
I mean, I'm not Bill Gates' best friend, but what the hell?
You could be. We don't know this because the anonymity of yourself. We seriously, nobody knows who AmericaShirts.com.
Myself, I guess you just you got to be careful.
He's the person behind Bill Gates and Nancy Pelosi. Oh.
And St. Patrick's name is now Zelensky.
Okay, before I forgot this. Before we go on, we're gonna do this.
Refuse to go along with this, and I'm seeing through all of your lies, Barack Obama, you wicked, wicked devil!
Oh God, it's so great.
So this is working. I want to be sure that the YouTube side's actually going. Okay, so again, we're gonna watch this Trump rally. So thank you, RSBN. Keep doing what you're doing. As you can see from the crowd that you see here, that all the other media that was out there that was reporting that there was less than 2,000 people to show up to this Trump rally, most likely were wrong. Just wrong. Because, you know, that's the way it is. So, there's going to be some music, so we're going to mute it.
Of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American. I mean, we can sing it for you if you want.
Proud to be a Canadian, or at least my leader. He's a communist.
We'll create treason. Oh.
And his daddy's actually Castro.
Red State
And his
sue
mama
Biden over
whored out to
termination
that
of
man.
Title 42. DeSantis claps back at Disney. Says company could lose special privileges. Obviously, all this stuff that's scrolling.
Good. F
All
Disney.
this, right?
Use your
All this stuff that's
privileges.
scrolling down here is actually it was scrolling on Saturday when they ran this. So there's obviously some. It's a little dated. Kerry Lake calls the decertification of Wisconsin and Arizona. YouTube, we don't have anything to do with any of this. We're just doing some friendly commentary on what is going on. We're not.
Yes, we're friendly.
Right, we're friendly. We're not saying
We're
that.
so
We
friendly.
are saying that Joe Biden is our president.
Wait, did you see
The
that
most
fat lady up there just below
legitimate
Trump
potato
again?
on the face of the earth.
I think that's what she did.
What's that?
I think that fat lady there that's raised her hand up there. I think she blew Trump a kiss. Then Trump waved at her.
Oh yeah, he likes them. He likes them all.
But look how much weight Trump has lost. Like you can just tell from around his midsection, like he's lost.
DeSantis slams
15,
Biden's
20 pounds,
revocation
looks
of
like.
the Title 42. This is a dereliction of duty. Oops, wrong one.
Yay! Look at all those people. Those are people that are off to the side there. And again, you have to understand. See how they're doing that, right? There's like a section where the media is, and then there's even people behind that and beside them. So it goes well back beyond what that first clip, the very first picture the still picture that we were at. Like that, the crowd goes clear back and around, wraps around.
Right,
Some
that's
of the
what I said.
cameras
Thank you, RSBN, for doing the coverage or whatever. But thank
'cause
you
they
for
flashed that back because they wanted to show
leftist
that, right?
media. Right, they'll do it on purpose. RSBN goes and shows the crowd on purpose because why? Nobody else actually will. Like I said, every single if you look at it or whatever, the headline of it, there it is, right there. The headline of it, of almost all other media sources, put it as less than 2,000 people show up in North Carolina for Trump, and look at this crowd. They didn't all just show up for just him. They showed up for the people that actually come to talk today. They have Madison Cawthorn shows up. I mean, when you got people like that, hometown people are gonna show up to see all of them. They're not gonna. I mean, obviously they're here for Trump, but they're also here for all these other people that are actually. Okay, let's kick up some volume.
Turn up the volume.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's great. This is a big crowd of people. Thank you, Selma. We love to be in Selma, and we've had some great experiences here, and we've had a great victory here. Tremendous. I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of North Carolina with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. 7 months from now, the people of North Carolina are going to vote to fire the radical left Democrats. You're going to send the very great man. He's a great man. I've known him a long time. He's a tremendous person, Ted Budd, to the U.S. Senate. Thank you, Ted. You're going to elect an incredible slate of true America First Republicans. Up and down the ballot you will go, and together we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all.
Sorry, Nancy. It's ready for you. It's your time. Bye.
The stakes this November could not be higher. Biden and the congressional Democrats
What's the
triggered
camera
runaway
doing?
inflation, the supply chain disaster. How about that? You go to a store, you don't have anything on the shelves. Whoever even heard of it? They declared war on American energy, and now the middle class is being crushed by the highest gas and food prices in the history of our country. Violent criminals are being set loose in Democrat-run cities to prey on innocent citizens. There's never been anything like the crime that we're witnessing in the
right
Democrat-run cities. While radical left
Mr.
judges
No
persecute
Neck
Republicans and hold political prisoners
keeps on
without
looking
trial.
around.
Our children are
This
being
guy right here.
indoctrinated. Our
He's not even
values are
paying
being
attention.
desecrated. Our heritage is being obliterated. And our country is being humiliated by a president who has no idea what the hell is going on. He has no idea what he's doing and no idea what he's saying, actually. Just have to look at what's happening. The simple fact is the presidential election was rigged and stolen, and because of that...
Those are his words, not mine. I don't have anything to do with that, because most legitimate president ever was Joe Biden with the most votes of any president ever. And there's nothing we can do about that.
Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Because of that, our country is being systematically destroyed. We have a president who is challenged.
All him.
But he's surrounded by vicious, evil, and very corrupt people who are doing whatever they want to in running our country to ruin. With your vote this November, we can stop our nation's decline. We can make America great again. And that's what we're going to do.
Oh, by the way, their senator that's there now, and I don't know, he's going to... one of the senators that's there now from North Carolina, his name's Tom Tillis. He was put back in office in 2020. That guy is a rhino asshole. Just to let everybody know.
One of them.
Yes.
Not the ones with the horn.
He'll sit there and be like, Miss
The ones with the
Ketanji
big
Brown Jackson.
R.
We won't, Miss Ketanji Brown Jackson, we won't go over your, pedo protector past. Like, no, we won't go into that. No. Instead, what we're going to do, because that's very demeaning and nasty of oh shoot, what's his face? Tom Hall. No. Hawley. I forget his first name now. Shit. But Hawley and Ted Cruz to go over, and even Mike Lee and other people like that's just nasty stuff. We don't need to get into that kind of thing now. Those types of questions now, that's just nasty. Like, that's the type of rhino asshole. This guy is a royal asshole, and he probably bought some of that kiddie porn from some of those people as well, like Mitt Romney. Just to let you know. So anyway, but that's that individual. Unfortunately, he was put in office 2020. He's not running. Who is the other guy that is in that office now? Words for North Carolina. It is Richard Burr. Oh, that guy. What a useless sack of shit. He's going out. I mean, he's just useless, and I think he... What have I seen of him? Forget some of the things. He's just a useless asshole. He doesn't do anything either. But Tom Tillis is a royal asshole. Especially his latest performance. with Ketanji Brown Jackson. Like, that was just royal assholery.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, but that is your senators there from North Carolina, and he again just endorsed Ted Budd, right? That's the name of the guy, right? Yeah, Ted Budd. He is in the House of Representatives presently for North Carolina's 13th congressional district, and he is running for the Senate for it'd be Richard Burr's seat. So, and again, senators are elected every 6 years. Unfortunately, they used to be appointed by the state legislature until that was removed by the what the hell is the amendment now? Can't remember the name. Is it the 16th amendment? No. It's not 16th. 20? No. What the hell is it? Anyway, one of those amendments after the income tax amendment. Yeah. So, anyways, there's all that about Senate, and that's your people running for Senate right now in North Carolina. And anybody other than these rhino freaks, it's gonna be better. So.
Okay, we got a lot of show to go through. Let's
Many catastrophes
kick it through.
Biden has unleashed. Perhaps none is
Sorry.
more horrendous than his ruthless abolition of America's borders. Remember the border? We had the strongest border in the history of our country a year and a half ago. By the way, time is flying. We used to say 4 years, then 3 years. Now, the other day, I heard him say 2.5 years. 2.5 years doesn't sound so bad. 4 years sounded like a long time. The problem is, Mark, are we going to have a country left? 2.5 years is still long, because the destruction they've done in this short time is unthinkable. With last week's announcement that the Biden administration will rescind the crucial Title 42 protections that I put into place to quickly remove illegal aliens. That's to remove the illegal aliens, and very, very quickly. And even the fake news
took it away at
that
first.
one was
They
a good
put it
one.
back,
That's a lot of people back there.
and then now they're taking it away again.
Welcome.
Just so that people won't
Welcome,
notice.
fake news. Welcome.
And yeah, there you go.
Biden
They
is
think it's fake
willfully
news.
opening the floodgates to a tidal wave of
So look at
illegal
all these
immigration,
people.
the likes
There's the
of
crane.
which
There's people
the
behind the
world
cranes.
has
They're
never
everywhere.
seen before. No
They're all over
country,
the place, these
no
people.
country has this ever happened to. He's deliberately inciting a mob of millions and millions of foreign nationals to illegally infiltrate
With Biden
America's
t-shirts,
borders, violate
Soros
our
man.
laws, trample our sovereignty, and settle in our country. Frankly, it's an invasion. You can call it whatever you want, but this is an invasion, just like an army would invade another country. Our nations are emptying out their prisons and sending drug dealers, murderers, rapists, and savage MS-13 gang members to victimize American citizens. We will be paying a very big price for this calamity, mark my words, for a long period of time. What's coming into our country is going to leave a mark for many, many years and decades, probably. Unfortunately, it's crazy. It's crazy. When you think of it, what the hell are we doing? It's crazy. And we had the strongest border ever, not even a contest. The Washington Democrats believe our country should be one giant sanctuary for dangerous criminal aliens. And the Republican Party, we believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans. We had the safest border, and now we have the worst border we've ever had. And I mean that no country, I don't care if it's a third world country, has ever had a worse border situation than us. They wouldn't allow people to come in like this. They even want to give illegal aliens cell phones. Everybody gets a cell phone. Come on in. You all get cell phones. Meanwhile,
That's a
Biden and
bunch
the
of
radical
crap.
Democrats are...
I mean, because if you listen to what Psaki had to say about it, or whatever, she goes, well, there's cell phones, there's ankle bracelets, there's other ways of monitoring these people, and to know where they're at and what they're doing, and giving them cell phones is just the easiest way to do it. And, well, okay, fine. Giving them cell phones is the easiest way to do it, to track everybody, because that's what you're doing. Then why don't you just give everybody one? Just give everybody a phone that has unlimited everything, That way we can do what we need to do. We can move on with life as you are already tracking us anyway. If that's what you're going to do and that's what they're going to continue to do, just do it. Stop, tiptoeing around and being like, oh, they don't know that we're doing. We'll just go buy phones. Go buy phones because you need to talk to each other. Landlines are not the way to go. And it's like, well, wait until something happens and then us and you don't know. There's no landlines around and there's no way to contact anybody. There's going to be an awful lot of people that are going to be, fairly disturbed and, screwed to say the last. At least. Anyway.
Spending billions and billions of dollars trying to secure the borders of distant foreign nations, many nations that you've never even heard of before.
Cell phone service.
I believe Americans deserve a...
I'm sorry, what's that?
Oh,
I got him really loud. I couldn't
I was just throwing out. Volta Wireless is the name of a company that has encrypted cell phone service. So it's 3 layers of encryption that government cannot penetrate. Anybody can't. Nobody can. Like literally. Anyways, but that's just. I just throwing that out.
Sure.
I just learned about that past week and a half or whatever. So anyway.
Interesting.
President who will secure the borders of our nation, who will protect our citizens, who will defend our sovereignty, and who will stop the invasion of our country right now. What's happening is unthinkable. After we win this November, Republicans should immediately vote to remove Biden's Secretary of Homeland Security. Who doesn't have a clue, from office for his blatant acts of sabotage against the laws of the United States. And then we should continue to work hard until the borders are again sealed. And we want people to come into our country, but we want them to come into our country legally. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our country in just 15 months. As everyone is saying, Russia's outrageous invasion of Ukraine would never have happened, and I mean it would never have happened if I was in the White House, and not even a chance. Would have never happened. Every time I look at those scenes on television and the scenes that you see in your papers, every time I look, I get sick to think about it, because all of those people that are dying and all of those people that are dead have been killed, savagely killed, horribly killed. They would be alive today. They wouldn't even be thinking about it. That would have never happened under our administration.
Here's something about that. I just remembered this. And I'll try to say this in the most YouTube-friendly fashion. There was a French journalist that was over there, and they said that in their times over there, in trying to leave, again, I'm trying to say this in a YouTube-friendly fashion. You can look this up yourself on the interwebs. I would say use a Brave browser. That's the easiest way to find this kind of information. But she was over there, and she said that when she was over there, she was trying to leave. She ran into U.S. and other NATO peoples of sorts. So you can make of that what you will and look that up yourself. But that's a little news in the most YouTube-friendly fashion that I can think of to say. But look the rest of that up yourself. But that's just a little, because he just reminded me of that. But that's just a little bit of that. Those who are listening can look up that information. French journalist, or maybe just journalist, I don't know if you can search that, trying to leave Ukraine or in Ukraine or something like that, finds out about some possible U.S. peeps, NATO peeps over there. So, that's a little bit of news there. I just found out about that today, so you can look that up for yourselves on the interwebs. I would highly suggest use Brave browser to find it, because it's the only one that will actually bring those search results up reliably. But anyways, that's just a little bit of something I learned today. So.
Interesting.
America was strong,
Again, it's all
and
allegedly for
America
YouTube's
was
sake, right?
respected because you had a president who always put America first. By the way, we have a group of incredible women, incredible patriots. I think they've come. How many rallies have you been to? How many? Tell me a number. They don't want to say because their husbands may be watching. What is it, like 78 or something? The nice part is they live here. This time they live there, so they live in North Carolina, but they've been traveling, and they do a lot of them. And we love to have you. Thank you. So easily recognizable. They're all so perfect. I mean, I've never seen anything so beautiful. Thank you very much.
Trying to watch some other man give a speech, like, yeah.
Did you? He's just like, they're all just so perfect. They're wonderful.
In North Carolina, but they've been traveling, and they do a lot of them. And we love to have you. Thank you. So easily recognizable. They're all so perfect. I mean, I've never.
Look at all their mouths drop open. Literally, as he says it, you watch the mouths, they just drop open.
I wish I could use my keyboard to just bump it back 5 seconds. But watch his hands.
Been to? How many? Tell me a number. They don't want to say because their husbands may be watching. What is
You
it,
know,
like
usually you do
78
like a
or
shape of like an
something? The nice part
hourglass.
is they
Watch
live
what he
here.
does.
This time they live there, so they live in North Carolina, but they've been traveling, and they do a lot of them. And we love to have you. Thank you. So easily recognizable. They're all so perfect. I mean, I've never seen anything so beautiful. Thank you very much for traveling.
Of course, I mean, maybe, but
He starts to do it, and then he kind of like, I shouldn't do that, so he kind of
starts swaying his hands.
swaying his hands instead. And it's like, dude, that's not how they're shaped. Oh. I don't have a problem picking on this man. Because you know,
are probably like,
we're gonna pick on all of them equally, like the most legitimate potato of the United States of America.
Ever.
Thank you. The radical left Democrats put America last. That's what they do. They put America last, and all you have to do is look at what they're doing. They want to keep us. They want to keep us last. You would never think that, but after watching what they do and the craziness, I think it's probably true. The Biden administration has been one disgraceful surrender after another, starting with the catastrophic way in which we withdrew from Afghanistan. Was that
By
the
the way, I love this
lowest
guy's
point
cowboy hat down here.
in our history?
Like,
With
dang.
dead
Yeah,
and horribly
dude's got an
wounded
awesome
soldiers
hat.
leaving American citizens
Very
as
good
hostages,
taste,
surrendering Bagram Air Base to China. China has it. We were going to keep it. It cost billions and billions of dollars to build many years ago, 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons, and we gave it away. And of course, giving away, famously, $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment in the world. We gave it to the Taliban. 700,000 rifles, machine guns, guns of all, 700,000. Listen to this one, though. 70,000 trucks, 70,000. Is there a car company in the country that has 70,000 cars, trucks? What do you think, Ted? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. 70,000. And many of them armor-plated, costing millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Now Biden is continuing his surrender parade, begging Iran to re-enter the disastrous nuclear deal that I terminated very proudly and very powerfully. had the election not been rigged, we would have had a deal with Iran within 1 week from the election. And now Iran is becoming rich again because...
Yeah, Susan, these are not our words. We don't have anything to do. This is just this man. This man says these things, not us.
China's
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta put something in the thing. Based sarcasm.
And they're all buying, and we've driven the price of oil up so high, the highest in the history of oil, and it's a disgrace. They're pleading also with the Venezuelan dictator to sell us oil. Think of that one. So they want oil from Venezuela now when we have it right under our feet. It's called liquid gold. We're sitting on liquid gold, and we're going to buy it from Venezuela and other countries, and we have it under our feet. Remember, energy independent, we had so much, we would have been double the size of Russia and Saudi Arabia put together within 1 year. It's a far cry from the Trump administration when we were totally energy independent and gasoline was costing less than $2 a gallon. Remember those days of a year and a half ago, $1.87 a gallon for a car. Now, you know what everyone is saying? Let's buy a smaller car, darling. We don't like this big car anymore. We don't want a truck. We want a tiny little car, as little as it can be. Long before Ukraine, Biden sent gas prices soaring with the...
Buzz around with it.
Right, and you're going to be laughing because there's going to be so many people like, I need a smaller car. And then you go to the car lot and you see the smaller cars are actually the ones that are environmentally safe, you know, with these batteries, things in them and whatever. And
again, they're environmentally safe. They're not human safe. They're environmentally safe.
I used air quotes. I forget that people can't see me when I use the air quotes. You know, I mean, environmentally safe. It really, when you think about it, it's not. Stop it. If you don't know what you're talking about, go...
Again, gasoline gets burned, puts off water vapor mostly.
Go look up what lithium mines do.
Carbon dioxide.
And then
monoxide.
You got to remember, you have to plug this stuff in after everything's done and set for, and it's all put in your car after, you know, they mine the lithium and they you know, melt it down to form...
To turn your car into a ticking time bomb. What?
Well, I mean, you know, to say, right, just to, you know, and that's just one of the things that could possibly happen.
Again, it's environmentally friendly, not human friendly.
Right. There's so many things that could happen, whatever, with it. And these batteries, like the ones in the Teslas, apparently, they're large, like almost the same. I could be wrong, but I thought I heard somebody say something about, you know, it being like the size of the underside of the car.
Yeah, they're pretty big. And
they're fairly
needless
large.
to say, if you overcharge them or if you do something weird with it, or like I don't know, like you leave it plugged in too long, or I don't know what exactly it is, or maybe it's just too hot. I don't know exactly what causes it, but for whatever the hell reason, these things could just spontaneously have, think of it like a nuclear meltdown and then just like blow the hell up. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh, that's nice. That's a nice little feature. If I want to like drive it into somebody's carport or like someone's garage that I don't like and then run away. Like, like if it's good for that, right? You know, like a Trojan horse catches fire and blows up. Like, anyway.
But I mean, you have to really seriously think about it and where these batteries actually come from. Who is actually doing the mining, for one, and then, you know, what the mine actually looks like. Go and look up what these lithium strip mines look like, and what they've actually done to the earth to get at them. And you're like, oh, it's not in our country, we're fine. Are you sure about that? We're fine because it didn't. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for one country to have to follow so many laws and rules, you know, because of, you know, carbon footprints are too big. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Carbon is a natural thing the Earth makes, we make, plants breathe in, give oxygen. It's
So I mean, and they're like, oh,
all natural.
global warming,
say.
and I'm just sitting here thinking the other day or whatever, a couple weeks ago, whatever, a week ago, it was my birthday, whatever, and so outside, I'm like, huh, it was snowing. It was the day after, I believe, it was snowing, and I'm like, yeah. Last year at this time, it was in the 70s. Here in this state, it was in the 70s because we were walking around the lake the same weekend that it's now snowing this year. So I mean, you can talk about certain specific ways of things happening, but I just don't see it always being specifically true. And I'm not trying to kick up any algorithm on that or anything. I'm just what I've noticed in recent whatever, it just doesn't seem like it's all that true or whatever. It just makes me question everything.
Fringe left-wing
Fat
energy
ugly
policy.
leftists put off more methane than any gas could imagine putting off. Let's just say that. We'll just put that out there. These land whales and
inspired by
manatees
the
do a better job
socialist
than
joke
like 18
known
cows
as
combined.
the
Like,
Green New
just one of them.
Deal. Windmills. We want windmills all over the place. I don't see any windmills here. I don't see these towers that are holding up the lights. Those towers are tiny compared to the windmills. If you're near a windmill and you have a house, your house is like pretty much worthless. Kills all the birds, ruins your landscapes, and it's the most expensive form of energy there.
When he's talking about it killing birds, I mean, seriously, these windmills, he's taking down large birds like bald eagles, and by large numbers. But we don't care.
Shit.
We don't care.
Oh no, because it's all about destroying. Again, it's all about destroying
because
industry
it's
in the United
so
States.
earth friendly.
De-industrializing the middle class and below, and anybody else other than the global elite. Like that's what this is all about. This Green New Deal bullshit and the Great Reset and all that. It's all the same thing.
And he touches on the few things or whatever that get people that make you start thinking about, that's interesting. Does it really happen? So then you go and you get online and you go and you look on what these windmills are doing to actually kill birds, and then you start actually using your brain for a second, and you're like, you're like, well, what are these things made of that they're actually they're able to actually kill these birds? And then you look into the product that's used to actually make the windmills. So then you all the metals and fiberglasses and plastics and all this others that they're using to actually make these structures or whatever, and you're like, you look up where all these products come from, and you're like, well, they all come from the earth. They all come from oil, plastics and all these, they're all oil, subsidies is basically what happens. There's these refineries and stuff or whatever that go and they make plastic out of oil. Oh, what? Really? Metals and stuff, they all come from the ore that's, mined out of the ground, that we kind of, say, oh, burning coal is bad. But you have to think about it, because eventually you're going to plug in that car that you have that battery in, and you're going to go and you're going to be like, I got to plug this in because I need some energy to go. What are you plugging it into? A wind turbine? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't. You're going to go down to the street, down the corner, and you're going to, wherever your nearest outlet is, and you're going to plug in. You're not going to think about where the electricity's coming from. You're like, the electricity still comes from the same power plant that was there before I bought my electric car. That coal power plant. So, I mean, you can think that you're saving the earth, but you're actually making it worse. Stop it.
There is. If Biden wanted to, he could lower gas prices tomorrow. All he has to do is come out and publicly admit that his anti-American energy policies were 100% wrong, and the pro-American energy policies of a certain president that you liked a lot, President Donald J. Trump, were 100% right. We're 100% right. 100%. They're going to be very famous. They're going to be very famous tonight. Thank you very much.
Look at the thousands and thousands of people that are saying, we love Trump.
Great state.
But, there's only like 2,000 people that showed up.
It's a slogan you're hearing more and more across the country, and it is true. And it's not about me, it's about us, because we all like it. You know what it is? It's really common sense. Somebody said, are you conservative? Somebody actually said, are you liberal? No, I'm not liberal. But it's not even a question of being conservative. You know what it is? It's common sense. It's like, we want a strong military. We want a good education. We want a beautiful home for as little as possible. We want so many things. We want a strong military. We love our law enforcement. We're not going to defund them. We're going to give them much more. We love our law enforcement. We want voter ID. When you walk in, people want to see, what does he look like? The choice.
So then, he says, we love law enforcement. Yeah, we do. But you also have to think about it. In some states, like here in Minnesota, your sheriffs are elected. And that can also be very political. So when you think about it, if a cop has to run against a different cop to actually see who actually gets, or different deputies running against each other or whatever to see who gets that sheriff's position, and they're running political parties to actually get the votes, you're gonna have some Democrats, you're gonna have some rhinos, you're gonna have some others that that are actually going to be out there that are going to be running for these positions. So you still seriously pay attention to your local government. I mean, yeah, we pay attention to this national stuff, but you really seriously need to actually break it down a little further and actually pay attention to your local stuff. Pay attention to who your county commissioner is. Pay attention to who your sheriff is. Pay attention to who your mayor and your governor and all these, a little bit closer to home. We each of us have different representatives that actually, cover us or whatever. You have to look at who's, covering your area, because you could be sitting in a city that you're like, you could have as many thoughts as you want on one president over another, but if you're not actually thinking about who's your sheriff and who's your county commissioner or whatever else, and you're like, oh, they're totally against what I like or whatever. Why? But you really seriously need to pay a little bit more attention than to just this national big stuff. President is just a little guy out in the middle of everywhere that everybody seems to be thinking is the all tell-all and everything. People need to wake up.
This November is very simple. If you want high crime, high prices, high taxes, high corruption, high incompetence, vote for the radical Democrats. If you want a country that is strong, sovereign, solvent, safe, and secure, you really have to vote for America First Republicans. It's common sense. So we're joined this evening, and this is a beautiful evening. You know, we were in South Carolina a few weeks ago, and what a great place, but it was cold, right? It was cold. We had, I think, the coldest night ever on record. We had a hell of a crowd, too. We had a tremendous crowd, and we were in Texas. It was beautiful. 87,000 people. I broke Elvis Presley's record. I was and I didn't have a guitar. He had a guitar. I didn't have a guitar. He had a guitar and a very good voice. We're joined this evening by some of the incredible patriots who are going to send the Democrat extremists out of Washington in disgrace. In particular, with us tonight is the man who is going to help end Chuck Schumer's brief and failed tenure as Senate Majority Leader and take back the U.S. Senate, your next senator from the great state of North Carolina, Ted Budd. Ted, thank you.
He's currently a seat in the House of Representatives.
What a great guy he is. I knew it.
So not does only North Carolina need to think about this guy being a senator.
I'm not going to tell
They
you what
need to
this
think
poll
about who's
was,
going to take his spot
but, you know,
in
his
the House.
district loved him. Some people didn't know him, but now they know him. But everybody loved him. I was getting calls from the best and strongest and toughest and smartest congressmen and women, and they're saying, Ted Budd, Ted Budd. Laura said, Ted Budd. I said, what about you, Laura? She said, well, you know, they've been attacking me for 5 years. Could I have a break? And Eric, they're great people. And Don, and Ivanka, we have a wonderful family. And Tiffany's getting married, and Barron is so tall and handsome now. And a good student, too, a good student. But you know, they were all saying about Ted, and Ted Budd really is, they said it, is an unrelenting champion for your North Carolina values and for America First. He wants America first. They want Ted, America last. Can be nothing else. Ted's been a ferocious opponent of deadly sanctuary cities right here in your state. You have sanctuary cities. You didn't even know that. He fought strongly against the Democrats'
Republican, he's against the
COVID
marijuana
lockdowns
legislation
and
as well.
school closures, which were absolutely hurting your children so badly. And he has shown he will stand up to the rhinos. You know, we do have some rhinos you do know about. In many ways, a bad rhino is worse than a Democrat because you don't know where they're coming from, but we sort of have a pretty good idea, right? But just as bravely, he stands up for the crowd that's here today. This is an incredible group of people, great patriots, and you love our country, and we love Ted for doing this. Takes a lot of courage to do it. Takes a lot of courage. But so I won't tell you about the poll. I won't tell you about the result. I will not say that he has a 17-point lead. Oops, I don't. That's a big lead. That's a big lead. Now, I saw one where he's 10 points, one where he's 12 points, and one where he's 17 points up over the bathroom governor. You know, the bathroom governor. Remember the bathroom governor? What a mess that was. But Ted is a fantastic man, and he'll defend your borders. He will be tough as hell on crime. He will protect our Constitution by voting only for judges who will interpret the laws as written.
Okay, let him talk.
And as a gun store owner, or maybe I'll see him, I want to buy a gun. Ted will never let them take away, ever, your under siege Second Amendment. Ted, please say a few words. Ted.
Mr. President, I think that I can speak for all of us in North Carolina tonight when we say we are glad to have Donald J. Trump back in North Carolina. Well, Mr. President, the last time that you were here, I said that we are ready to get back to working with you to make America great again. And Mr. President, we mean that now more than ever. Joe Biden's America is woke and broke, and we can't back down. The fight starts now. I'm the America First candidate. Mr. President, thank you. Let's go win this for our country.
Didn't say anything.
Yeah, not really.
Just a couple of, yeah, let's make America great again. That was a little disturbing. I was kind of hoping he was going to say a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. Thank you. Proud of you. Very proud of you. We're very proud of that man. Not an easy thing to do what he's doing, and he did so well, and we got to get out there and vote. Make sure you're voting, and we're going to have somebody very special and another man who's very special, because just today, and this man is respected from the first day I heard his name. Everyone said, he's incredible, he's so great. He's a man, yeah, that's right, Mark. That's right. He just gave Ted a very big endorsement. He's a conservative warrior. More importantly, he's a brilliant guy, and unlike any other people in this, practically in this country, I'll tell you what, he is going places. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Come on up, Mark. Come on.
Oh. Okay, come on, Mark. Give us something good, man.
Oh, God, yes. He's awesome. He's the guy that
They
made that
love this
speech and
guy.
then he got elected. God, this guy's awesome. Could be president.
Guys, thank y'all so much. I was just up
Heard
here
it
a
here
few minutes
first.
ago. Thank y'all so much again. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you all tonight. Look, I am a guy who just a few years ago, I was working in a factory. I was a factory worker trying to work my way through school. And now today, I am standing on stage in Johnston County with the President of the United States of America.
Again, he's not the current President of the United States of America. Joe Biden is. But,
Most legitimate potato.
Right. He's calling out the previous administration, he's saying that he was, the President of the United States of America. Not our words, just theirs.
I said it out here before, and I'm saying it again. I am living proof that the American dream is not dead. It's alive and well. It's not even on life support. And with President Trump's help in 2024, we're going to make that more clear than ever. We're going to make it more clear in 22 when we put Ted Budd in office. We're going to make America great again, and we're going to bring back what makes this country work, which is conservative principles. God bless you, Mr. President. Thank you for everything, and God bless all of y'all. Thank y'all.
Man, you should listen to this guy.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I mean,
Every time he makes a speech, it's just-
again, though,
just
I mean,
great.
he made it was okay. What did he tell us?
Well, he's not running or anything.
No, but I mean, I want something good out of these people. They're just, yes, we're gonna do it.
That's great.
I mean, I love the positivity, but
The shoulders on that man. See the shoulders. A great man. The primary is May
Almost as big as
17th,
Big
but
Mike's
early voting
shoulders,
begins on April 28th.
We all know
So
who Big Mike
get
is,
out
right?
there and make sure that vote counts. And we're going to make sure it counts from another standpoint, too. But we had no problem in North Carolina. They did a great job. Ted is by far
Almost
the
had a
best
problem.
candidate in this race, and we will crush the radical Democrat nominee in November. I need each and every one of you to remember that so important. When you're a senator representing a state, it's so powerful. It's so important for the country, not only the state. Ted Budd, you got to get out and vote for him. And we have some other warriors with us tonight. Also with us, representatives, friends of mine, Dan Bishop. Dan, thank you very much. Great guy. Greg Murphy. Thank you, Greg. Great job. A man, I love him because he's never controversial. There's no controversy. But you know what? He loves this country. He loves this state. And I'll tell you, he is respected all over the place. He's got a big voice. Madison Cawthorn. He's a great guy. Candidate for North Carolina's 13th Congressional District, Bo Hines. There's Bo. Bo, handsome guy. I don't know who's better looking, him or Madison. I don't know. And you know, Bo, you have my complete and total endorsement, okay? So you have that. A man who has done an incredible job. You know, you read all about these scams and all of the fake votes and all of the everything, but we didn't have that problem in North Carolina because we have a chairman, Michael Whatley, who has been just incredible. Michael, thank you. With a handsome son and the whole deal. He's got the whole package. So thank you very much, Michael. Great job. Really a great job. And good luck with the race. I think you're going to have tremendous success. David McIntosh is a very powerful man. He's the head of the Club for Growth and a very good friend of mine, and we are undefeated when we work together. Where's David? David McIntosh. David? Where is David? What a guy. David? See? He wants to come up. Hey, David, come up and say a few words. You know, this guy used to be a congressman. Hurry up, David. I don't know. They said, who the hell is that?
Hurry
He's
up,
a
David.
winner. That's
You got to get up here. Hurry up, run. A little faster. Just don't trip.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, you are a great man that are once again going to lead this country back to freedom. I'm so proud to partner with you to elect Ted Budd, to re-elect Madison, to re-elect Bishop, to re-elect Greg, and to re-elect Bo Hines, or to elect Bo Hines for the first time. We're going to do it. But you know who's going to do it? It's all of these great Americans from North Carolina. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, David, very much. Great guy. He's a fighter, that guy. I used to fight against him. It wasn't pleasant. We decided, let's get together. And a man that nobody's ever heard of because he's very shy on television, hates putting out television commercials. He's the greatest buyer of television ads in history, Mike Lindell. Mike. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you very much. From the border nightmare to the inflation nightmare, from the energy crisis to the violent crime crisis, and from the Afghanistan disaster to the Ukraine disaster, everything we're seeing is a consequence of this horrible, horrible election. It was rigged, it was stolen, it was a disgrace. But don't lose hope, because with the right leadership, America
We don't know that,
will
of course.
be back, greater, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. The truth is, I ran twice, I won twice, I did much better the second time than I did the first. And now, we may have to do it again. Is there anybody here who would like to see me run again? Put that here, I'll remember.
Just a couple. It's quite the crowd that they're showing there. Look at how many people are in that crowd. You can barely see that big screen. And they're like, oh yeah, they only had 2,000 people show up.
I'll remember that. I'm going to remember
gotta lie
that.
to
Time
us.
is moving along. Over our 4 incredible years, we
We see the
accomplished
truth.
more than any administration in the history of our country, and in so many different ways. We passed the largest tax cuts and reforms in American history. We cut a record number of job-killing regulations. In addition to energy independence and cheap gasoline, we approved the Keystone XL pipeline, which they immediately ended. And we got built the Dakota Access Pipeline. These are big ones, and opened ANWR for energy development. And by the way, we ended the Russian pipeline. You do know that, right? Unfortunately, this group came in and they immediately approved it. And then they say, Trump treated Russia so nicely. I don't think so. We appointed nearly 300 federal judges to defend our Constitution. That's a tremendous number, like people have not even thought possible, and has made a tremendous difference in the courts. We confirmed 3 incredible Supreme Court justices. We eliminated the founder and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi.
And they went and they destroyed that too, because they went and they put one person in there that is so far left that they just totally changed the whole complexion of SCOTUS, but with one stupid person. But, you know.
Daddy, and we terminated the world's top terrorist, Qasem
Daddy. That's all you
Soleimani.
hear.
We invested nearly $2.5 trillion in new fighter jets, aircraft carriers, tanks, and missiles for our military, and we created the first new branch of the United States Armed Forces in over 75 years since the Air Force. It's called the Space Force. Very important.
Very
And to
important.
take care of our amazing veterans, we passed VA accountability. Oh.
Train horn.
You see that? That conductor is a Trump fan.
Trump train.
Trump train.
All aboard, Trump train.
I said, what the hell was that? That was a powerful, beautiful train. But Ted, I think he's a voter of yours. But he is a fan. There's no doubt about it. He's still hunking that sucker, I'll tell you. Isn't that a beautiful sound? To me, it's a beautiful sound. But we passed for the vets.
Beautiful
VA
sound.
accountability and VA choice. They've been trying to get that to pass for 55 years. Think of it. VA accountability, VA choice. We passed right to try. You know what right to try is? We created peace. Look at that. He's still hunking that hard. We love that guy. Man. And look at that train. That's the longest train I've ever seen. It may never stop, but he's happy.
They're like, show the train, show the train.
Yeah, look, it's right there.
We saw Trump,
There it is.
we saw Ted Bud, and I hunked the hell out of
It'd
that
be great if there
train.
was some graffiti on one of those.
We love
That was
those
like-
guys, Ted.
You know.
We created peace
let's
in
go,
the Middle
Brandon.
East with historic, and you know what the Abraham Accords are? We created peace. We would have had them all signed up very quickly, and we fought for fair and reciprocal trade for workers of North Carolina. You know, you're doing better than you've ever done. I withdrew from the terrible Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have destroyed your automobile industry and many other industries. We ended the NAFTA disaster, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the brand new USMCA, Mexico and Canada, the best trade deal our country's ever made. In fact, it's so good that Mexico and Canada want to renegotiate the deal, and they're starting a renegotiation now. And I say to the Biden administration, don't do it, because that was a horrible deal, NAFTA, for many, many years. We had to live with it. We have a great deal now. Don't change it. We created 500,000 new manufacturing jobs in my first year. They said this, it will never happen. Manufacturing is dead. Remember they said, Barack Hussein Obama, he said, manufacturing is dead in our country. I said, how the hell is that possible? And we created tremendous manufacturing jobs. To be a strong nation, America must be a manufacturing nation. We cannot be reliant on China or any other foreign country. I proudly, and we really did, we all as a group, we proudly stood up to China's plunder and pillaging of American jobs and industries like no precedent in history. We charged China hundreds of billions of dollars when no other president charged them 10 cents. Not 10 cents in many, many decades. And they paid hundreds of billions of dollars. Do you think they liked me? I don't think so. And we use those billions of dollars to help our great patriot farmers and manufacturers, getting them the largest agricultural purchase orders ever in the history of our country from China. We fought for North Carolina and we won for North Carolina. And when Republicans retake Congress, we will fight and win for North Carolina once again. One of the first things that we will do with our new Republican majorities is to end every last COVID mandate. They're still around, if you can believe it.
Again, Susan, these are his words, not ours. I mean, you know, everybody that's out there, right?
We love
mandates,
tyranny.
mandates
We love the
are
New World
great.
Order. We love Hillary Clinton and we love Bill Gates, right? We love them.
But anybody that's out there that's, you know, questioning anything, they should actually go and see a doctor. Do what's best for themselves. You know. We're not doctors. We're not telling you what to do.
They're still around. It's hard to believe. And we will pass a bill making it illegal for any employer to interfere in personal health decisions or to fire employees.
As it always, there's been HIPAA laws forever, and I don't understand how we can actually just kind of, you know, look around that.
For not having the vaccine. In addition, a Republican majority must investigate the collusion between Democrat Party politicians and the teachers' unions to keep our children out of school for no scientific reason whatsoever. The irreversible harm that Democrat politicians did to our young people is unforgivable, and American voters will punish them at the ballot box this November. Despite all you're hearing and seeing of China and Russia and Iran and others, our biggest danger is not from outside coming in. Our biggest single danger is from the sick and radical politicians that are knowingly or unknowingly wanting to destroy our country. Our biggest danger is from within. I believe that. As president, I was proud to sign the world's first ban on critical race theory. The Biden administration rescinded that order, but when we retake Congress, Republicans will ban.
I seriously wasn't paying attention enough to actually even understand that critical race theory was a thing until it was pointed out.
Just like I did. It was fully banned before.
I'm like, huh.
In addition, a Republican
Started
Congress
paying
must
attention
stand
a
up
little
for
closer.
parental rights and parental choice. I think that's a good idea.
That's what they did to us Americans. They indoctrinated us so far.
To our children without parental consent. It's truly child abuse, plain and simple.
Yep.
By replacing reading and math with pronouns and gender studies, our government-run education system has forfeited the trust of American parents, and they really have. Every mom and dad in America.
So I do have to say I was debating on what to do tonight for a show, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I told you that we'd do, the Trump rally no matter what. I was debating. There's a clip that's out there of this young lady. I mean, whatever it is, I guess, calls herself a witch, and tells the story of children. One calling her a girl, and the other says no, it's a boy, and the third one says no. We went through this, remember? And again, elementary student, teacher. These are like third or fourth graders that she was talking to. And it's just like, I was debating on doing something about that, and I'm like, well, let's just do the rally. And he just, made me think about it. I'm like, that was something that, eventually might just actually come up within the next few days here.
Must be given the right.
That being said, if you're actually listening still, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, ring the bell, do all those fun things. Go and follow us everywhere else. Go to Rumble. If you go to Rumble and you follow me, you should also go and follow AmericaShirts.
Yes, you should. It's capital A, capital S, all one word. You search it on Rumble, you shall find it. I have 182 or 180 some subscribers now.
Nice.
Several videos, so go check those out.
Speaking of subscribers, I did pick up a
They're
couple
all
of
good
subscribers
informational
here.
videos. You may not know the information about on them as well. I should add, a lot of them are dealing with Russia and Ukraine and what the left and the right are not telling you about what's going on.
Right.
So go
Right.
check that out.
Right, you should actually listen to both sides and see what both sides have to say on something before you go and make a decision on something. What I was going to say though is I noticed that we picked up a couple of subscribers on the YouTube side. There's a couple. Yeah, we're up to
Well,
33.
thank you.
Yeah. So and those couple that are out there that subscribed within the last week or whatever. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Get a hold of me or AmericaShirts. DM one of us. There's ways of finding us. We can give you some Discord access.
Yes, you can go to AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com and get yourself a base T-shirt while you're there. The most based on the planet. I'm not a biologist.
Right.
That's just what the website says. And of
Or
course,
you
you
could
can
do
get
that.
15% off any shirt in the store with using the discount code Koolfrogg. As using the discount code Koolfrogg, you get 15% off any shirt in the store. And when you're doing that, you could scroll down and to the bottom, and I have a AmericaShirts email. You could throw out to me a message as well if you'd like to do it in that way.
Right,
So-
right. There's plenty of ways, right, to get messages to us, to catch Discord links, and then you can talk to us on a regular basis. We've been kind of slowing down a little bit since the beginning of the year. We were pretty much going at it, every day. We were on Discord for a good period of time. Things are going to start changing for me in my personal life or whatever. So there's going to be a little bit of time where there's not going to be too much going on right away. I really don't know how long it's going to take for. Nice. I hear a train in the background here now. That train's making its way through. Yep, Trump train coming.
That conductor must be a Trump supporter.
And if you're out there and you're listening, if you feel the need to help me out immediately, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. That's KOOLFROGG for you listeners out there, and show some love, show some support. Eventually, I'd buy shirts from AmericaShirts, and I'll turn on the camera and we'll sport the shirt live on camera.
Right to opt out of the indoctrination and send their child to the public, private, charter, or religious school of their choice. Have to do it. Last week, the Biden administration sent Congress a budget crammed with billions and billions of dollars of transgenderism and so-called equity provisions that are nothing more than government-sponsored racism. The Republican Congress will end the woke war on women and children. We will stop illegal government discrimination. We will restore the sacred American principle of equality under the law. And we will, while we're at it, demand justice for the January 6 prisoners and full protection of their civil rights, like was received by Antifa and Black Lives Matter, who murdered people throughout our country. And as you probably have heard, one of the first January 6 trials ended in an extortion, and it was a horrible thing what they were doing to people, but there was exoneration because they effectively proved that he got waved into the Capitol by the police. Remember this, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the Capitol. You know that, right? And the mayor of D.C., they were in charge of all security in the Capitol. Remember also that they were offered 3 days before, on January 3rd, 10,000 soldiers or National Guard to protect the Capitol. They turned it down. If they would have accepted that, they're in charge of it, and we offered it. If they would have accepted that, there would have been no January 6th as we know it. And in the quite famous Michigan trial, where people were supposedly going to kidnap the very unpopular governor, and it sounded very strange to a lot of people, 2 were just found not guilty and 2 others ended in a hung jury. So there's something going on down there. There's something going on. The radical Democrat Party will do anything to stop our movement, no matter how illegal, immoral, or insane. Now in New York State, as an example, the extreme left is continuing the greatest witch hunt. It's the greatest witch hunt of all time. Have you been hearing about this? Failed New York State gubernatorial candidate Letitia James, who recently ran for governor and had to give up because she had no support. She got almost no poll numbers. Her party said, get the hell out. Is no longer working as the Attorney General. She went back into the Attorney General's office as a political operative for the Democrat Party, engaged in a political persecution and abusing her powers for her own personal gain. It's prosecutorial misconduct. And it began the second I came down the escalator with our great future First Lady. That beautiful escalator in Trump Tower, and it's continued ever since in an attempt to silence a president who is leading in every single poll by a lot. Never before has this happened to another president, and it is truly an absolute violation of civil rights, in my opinion, and your civil rights too. I've been investigated by the Democrats more than Billy the Kid, Jesse James, and Al Capone combined.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, you know, if you actually look at the track record, I mean, they did, you know, House impeached him twice. They put him on investigation from the beginning, like immediately put him on investigation to actually, you know, try removing him from office. They created amendments to, you know, try getting rid of him. They did so many things because of this guy. Because they just, in their heads, it's completely and totally just orange man bad. And that's all they know. They don't, you know, they and the full guns, you know, straight ahead. Nothing you can do to change their minds. Not a dang thing. It's all they ever thought of.
And in all cases, I've been innocent. We have a great sheriff right here. Where's the sheriff? I stand up, sheriff. We want to send the...
See the sheriff. He brings up these people that are sitting in his crowd, in his audience, that are actually there that are actually the ones that you also need to be paying attention to. Like, who's your sheriff?
Sheriff into New York. Clean things up, Sheriff. But, you know, there's been anything like it. It just never stops. A friend of mine, smart guy, very successful guy, a lot of common sense, he said, you know, you've been investigated for years and years, millions and millions of pages of documents. They found nothing. You are the cleanest guy on earth. When you think about it, I've got to be the cleanest sheriff. I think I'm the most honest human being, perhaps, that God ever created. Perhaps. Instead of persecuting Republicans, these rogue Democrat prosecutors should stop the crime and the bloodshed that is raging uncontrollably in Democrat-run cities and states. And New York, Letitia James, New York has got disastrous numbers, up a record amount, 50% more, number one for going up. So Letitia James should be focusing on New York, not focusing on, let's get Trump and let's vote all the time, let's get Trump. We've only been doing this for years, with record murders, surging violence, and drug trafficking at the highest level we've ever had. The witch hunts have to end. The depravity and corruption of our left-wing political establishment cannot be overstated. Just this week, Special Counsel John Durham outlined in court filings the, quote, joint venture or conspiracy by Democrat operatives and officials to perpetrate the Russia hoax. Russia, remember? Whatever happened to that one? And then guys like the watermelon head, Schiff, he goes back. And then he goes, Ukraine. That turned out to be another hoax. Remember that? He had a terrible call. I will tell you, you know. The president of Ukraine, they asked him about it. He said the president did nothing wrong. And I knew, he said, he didn't do anything wrong. Wasn't it great that we had the call essentially taped? Wasn't that wonderful? Did they die when they heard we had the call taped? I would have had a problem because these people are horrible liars. Shifty Schiff gets up to a microphone. This is a terrible thing for our country. I called to congratulate him on a victory. I never met the gentleman, but you know what?
Only this guy has names for everybody.
And I liked him then because he had courage, and he said, we did nothing wrong. I think they thought that these people were crazy, actually. On a similar basis, massive conspiracy to hide the truth about Joe and
Thank
Hunter
you,
Biden's
RSBN,
corruption
for what you do.
being fully exposed. And with your vote this November, the rig system really can come down to a crashing halt. Got to stop it. They got to stop the political persecutions in this country. We spend so much time now on the environment. You know, the environmental alarmists, everything. The country is going to be gone. We have a guy threatening nuclear weapons every day in Russia, and they're talking about in 300 years our ocean's going to be 1/100th of an inch higher. 300 years from now. We have to immediately clean up our factories because we don't have to clean up our air. What they don't say is that Chinese air, the China air is so dirty. Russia air is so dirty. India is so dirty. Japan, very dirty. Not a little bit better, very dirty. That air goes up and then it blows into the United States. Okay, what are they going to do about that? But none of this will matter if we don't do one thing: restore integrity to our elections. Have to do it. At the federal, state, and local level, Republicans must act to ensure universal voter ID. You know, it's interesting.
You know what's interesting is when you speak of, you know, universal voter ID, and they're like, oh, that's racist. And then you think about it, and you're like, well, you need an ID to buy cigarettes. You need an ID to drive. You need an ID to do almost anything. The fun one, because I actually work at a local hotel, is the national law that says you must be with a photo ID the age of 21 and have a legitimate credit card to get a room. I mean, I remember as a kid being able to run around and, you know, as a young adult, whatever, run around and, you know, with cash or whatever. They've changed their laws in the United States so steep that you can't do anything without an ID. To go around and pointing fingers at, oh, it's racist to need an ID to vote is ludicrous bullshit. Everybody needs an ID to do something. Almost everything.
Interesting, in the Democrat convention, they had it in Milwaukee, and I saw people that walking in had signs like posters on their chest with their picture, all sorts of identification, but they don't want that to vote. The only reason they don't want voter ID is because they're cheaters. They cheat. There's no other reason. It's like a 94% issue. Even in the Democrats want voter ID. The only one that doesn't are the Democrat politicians. You see, I happen to think that bad oil and high prices, and if you look at people that are against the Second Amendment, you can't have guns to protect yourself, against God, against so much. Sanctuary cities, they want sanctuary cities. They want high taxes. They want to double and triple your taxes. I happen to think that they don't really have a 50-50 party with the Republicans. I think they do because they cheat like hell. Because there's no way. You go to Texas, they're against God, against guns, and against oil. And then I hear, it's going to be close. Well, actually, we won a landslide.
Some of them even just say that the Republicans just decide the
You know why they
Republicans.
said it's going to be close? Because if they can find enough votes, millions of votes, if they can find it, the people won't be so shocked if they can pull it out. No, I just think that we have to clean it up, and I think Ted Budd is going to do a lot in that regard. I think it's one of his big issues. Because if we don't have clean elections, and if we don't have strong borders, we do not have a country. We don't have a country. We also have to look at citizenship confirmation. No more drop boxes, the fake drop boxes. 100% of the votes to Biden and nothing to Trump. Gee, I didn't do too well with that particular box. No private money pouring into local election offices organized by billionaire CEOs. I wonder who we're talking about. And we must ensure that every election can be fully and quickly audited. And you have to look at the movie that's coming out this week, Dinesh D'Souza. Watch it.
Yep.
They have everything on tape. They have a big portion of what went on tape. There are many different things. They cheated on many different levels and many different ways. But look at this Dinesh D'Souza
we don't know this. This is
movie,
just.
and they have
This
it
is
on
what these
tape,
people
and
are
they have
saying.
it on ping. They have it all over the place. It's ballot harvesting at a level that nobody ever thought possible. Totally illegal, by the way. And another one, Citizens United, David Bossie. I just saw that one, and that is brutal in terms of cheating, in terms of people pouring. You know, if you spend more than $5,600 on an election, they put you in jail. They have very strict rules. $5,600. This guy Zuckerberg spent $417 million. And it was corrupt as hell. But you have to see those two movies, and David Bossie did an incredible job, Citizens United, and Dinesh. This Dinesh movie is going to blow your socks off. Now, here's the bad news. The fake news won't even report it. They won't report it. They won't report it. They won't talk about it. That's why they're called the fake news, and that's why they have now
to sit there and market
a
it as
lower
conspiracy
approval
theory.
rating than Congress. Can you believe that? A lower approval rating than they do. Well, these guys, this group of congressmen, they're way up there. You're so far up. The ultimate goal would be same-day elections using paper ballots with mail-in ballots. Only the military can use mail-in ballots, or those who are very sick or ill. and who can't vote in person. So if you're very sick and you can't vote, good. And if you're in the military, you're in a faraway place or port, good. And that's it. And wouldn't it be nice to have same day like we do? We could do that easily. Same day elections. So that you go like we used to have, you know, when elections were much more honest. Instead of sitting around for 48 days, we have boxes stored in that storage room. Oh, really? Who's watching it? Why isn't a lock on the door? Why are people moving things in and out? No, we need same day and we need paper ballots. We could have honest elections so easily. When California sends out tens of millions of mail-in ballots, nobody knows where the hell they're going, who's getting them, and how many people here have had friends who received more than one ballot? Yeah. I know so many people. And I know some. My record so far is 7, but I heard it goes higher. Some people received 7, but it goes higher than that from what I understand. We're just 7 months away from the most important midterm victory in American history, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or steal it. By the way, I endorsed another person today, Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. Dr. Oz. Great guy, a good man, good man.
I mean, I guess, if you say so.
And Harvard educated, tremendous career, and they liked him for a long time. That's like a poll. You know, when you're in television for 18 years, that's like a poll. That means people like you, but he's a great guy. This is the year we're going to take back the House, we're going to take back the Senate, and we're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful White House.
You mean that thing that's not currently being used?
I like those people behind me. I don't know who the hell they are. You know, I always say, those people may have lousy seats and you may have great seats, but they're going to be much more famous than you are tomorrow. They'll be called in. Some of them will be called in because they're so attractive. They'll be called into Hollywood tomorrow. With the Republican Congress, we will fight for more jobs for North Carolina families, fair trade for North Carolina workers, and more North Carolina factories forging more products with stamped. And you know what? That beautiful phrase is made in the USA. We're using it more and more. We will shut down Joe Biden's border disaster, institute remain in Mexico, reimpose Title 42, strengthen ICE. These are great heroes, and Border Patrol. Those are great heroes. They're courageous people. You know, they go into these nests. You know what a nest is? Sheriff, you know what a nest is. They have a nest, and it's MS-13. These are tough people. They like knives because they like cutting people instead of shooting people because it's more painful and it takes longer. Sheriff knows. And it's a horrible thing. And these ICE people, I tell you, I know a couple of people in the front row, you're really tough. You don't want this job. They go into a nest, they run into a nest, and they start fighting it out, and then they grab them and they throw them, they bring them back to their country. And their countries didn't take them under Obama. And so we were stuck with them. And I heard that. My first week, they said, sir, we can't bring them back to Guatemala. We can't bring them back to Honduras. We can't bring them back, sir, to El Salvador. They won't take them. I said, how much money does the United States give them? Sir, we give them $778 million a year. I said, call them and tell them we're not paying them anymore until they take the people back. Sure. And then the next day, Sheriff, I got a call from the 3 presidents separately. Sir, why aren't you paying us the money? Because you won't take them back. But, sir, we'd love to take back MS-13. We think they're fine people. We would love to take them back, and we had no problem after that, you know? We still haven't paid them, by the way. You know, it's very interesting. And Biden just announced that instead of $778 million. They want to pay $4 billion to these countries, $4 billion. You know who's going to get that? The drug lords, the politicians. A lot of people are going to get that, Sheriff. No good. But we got them all back. We got them thousands. I just want to take we got to give them a great hand to ICE, to Border Patrol, and to law enforcement. You know, I see a person in the audience that I didn't know she was here. She comes from a slightly warmer climate. Carrie Lake. She's going to be the next governor of Arizona. So nice that you're here. I didn't know you were here, Carrie. Wow. They all love Carrie. Everyone knows. Carrie's got a massive lead in Arizona. She was their anchor for 22 years in Arizona, and she saw the way things were running, and she wasn't happy. They have a lousy governor in Arizona, really lousy. Happens to be Republican. He's still lousy. They wanted him to run for the Senate. I said, well, I'll never endorse him, I can tell you, so he took a pass. But Carrie Lake is fantastic, and I heard your poll numbers are through the roof. I think it's kind of like Ted Budd's poll numbers. They're quite up there, right? So let's have a contest. Who does better, you or Ted Budd? But Carrie Lake has done fantastically. She's going to be a great governor. We will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa lottery, and we will, in a few weeks, finish the wall. It takes 3 weeks to finish it. We will stop the Biden crime wave in Democrat-run cities. We will give our police, we love our police, their power back, and let them do what they do better than anybody else. And we're going to give them also something else. We're going to give the police their respect back. And we will restore law and order again in America. We will hold China accountable for unleashing the virus upon the world. We will create a military so powerful, I've sort of already done this, that no one, don't forget, $2.5 trillion. And you know, we have a nuclear force that I rebuilt along with the military. And I hate even talking about it, but we have the most powerful nuclear force. We had weapons that were 48 years old. Nobody even knew if they work. We've refurbished and rebuilt and brand new in many cases our nuclear capability. So we don't like talking about it. And honestly, Putin shouldn't be talking about it. Shouldn't be talking about it. And if they do talk about it, we have to have somebody that knows how to talk back, not to say, oh, they're our nuclear force. We will lead humanity back to the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. That's happening very quickly. We will protect innocent life. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend the Second Amendment. And we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. We love our great American flag. We love that flag. And we will not, by the way, have men participating in women's sports, if that's okay. Did you see the swimming record? It was up for 11 years, and a great young woman, there's a great young woman. She's been working so hard, and she thought she could beat it by 1/8 of 1 second. And then this guy comes along and beats it by 38 seconds. But the best is the weightlifting, right? It stood for 18 years, a record. And you know, they'd put like a 1/4 of an ounce on each side, and the woman got up. Oh! And then this guy comes along. Ding, ding, ding. And he never lifted weights before, right? No, that's so good. That's so ridiculous. I mean, and you know, people are afraid to talk. I'm talking about it because I talk about it. I talk common sense. People, you have to talk about it. You know, even the teammates, they don't want to do it. They think it's politically incorrect to talk about it. There's nothing politically incorrect about it. It's going to destroy women's sports. I mean, if I'm a basketball coach, I guarantee I'm going to have a great team. But you know why? Because I'm not going to say it, because that would be politically incorrect. I'd say, isn't that terrible? You can't let this happen. You can't let it happen to women's sports. It's very unfair to women. Don't let it happen. In conclusion, our MAGA movement is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country. And nobody can say otherwise. Even the fake news can't say anything differently. Together we are standing up against some of the most sinister forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever witnessed or seen. But no matter how big or powerful these corrupt radicals may be, you must never forget this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our American liberty is your God-given right. This state, this is a great state, was forged by some of the toughest men and some of the strongest women ever to walk the face of the earth. Our American ancestors were backcountry farmers, woodsmen, and craftsmen who poured their love into this land with their families and all of their friends. Incredible what they've done. And they were bold pioneers and frontier settlers who climbed the mountains, tamed the wilderness, and kept on pushing west, west, west. And above all, they were proud citizens, fiercely independent North Carolina men and women who blazed their own trail and took orders from nobody. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. We're not going to let our country be destroyed by lunatics. We are going to fight for America like no one has ever fought before. We will not let radical left people that don't love our country, or rhinos. We have bad rhinos too. We have some sick, stupid, weak people take away from us what has been so brilliantly forged over nearly 250 years. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever, ever, ever back down, North Carolina. As long as we are confident and united, the tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a little chance. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun, and it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again. Greatness. We don't talk about greatness anymore. You never hear the word greatness. We talk about the environment, and we all want a clean environment. We talk about race, and we want great race relations. We talk about many other things, but we never talk about greatness for our country. We want to make our country great again. Right now, our country's a laughingstock all over the world. They don't even return the phone calls of our president. We've never been in a position like this. Our country has never been scorned the way it is or disrespected. We're going to change it. because we are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious American nation. And so with the help of everyone here today and citizens all across our land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
Yes, thank you.
Does he have a dance for this song?
I'm sure he does. It's mute.
Come on. Give me a dance.
Just a little jiggy. Do something.
Little jiggy.
There it is.
Ah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, getting down.
Any more jig? There it is.
There it is with the whole. Oh yeah, everybody.
Oh God, I love it. I love him so much.
Oh no.
Oh my
You
God.
hear it first
So
here.
fun.
AmericaShirts professes his love for Donald J. Trump.
It's just like Kim Jong Un and Trump. It's a love. You know. I have no love letters, but you know. It was the letters of love we wrote back to each other, back and forth. It was beautiful.
Well, there you have it. This is what you get. You get this guy. And I think, you know, people really seriously need to think about what they're actually doing, who they're voting for. And I'm not talking about just voting for presidents. I'm talking about all of those seats that, you know, he pointed at the sheriff. He points at the sheriff all the time because the sheriff matters. It matters, who, you know, where that sheriff sits. I mean, it really seriously does.
If they get an order from President Potato to you know, take your guns and arrest you if you don't have a jabby, you know, the sheriff can be like, no. And then not
or
do
the
it.
sheriff can be like, oh, okay, let's do it. And, you know, if you elect the wrong person for the position, it can be very bad for almost everybody.
Yep.
So really get into your politics. I mean, if you're not into your politics and you don't know, maybe you should at least just do a little bit of research on if you're going to vote.
Yep. That includes your state. That includes local offices, the mayor, the sheriff, everybody. Because see, this is how federalism works, ladies and gentlemen. you have a national government, a federal government, you may say, right? And then you have state government, and then you have local governments, your county commissioners and your city councils and your sheriff and so forth, so on, courthouse people, whatever, right? So on and so forth. Then there are peeps, other different peeps that are in different places. I mean, hell, there's
a lot of times, I mean, even judges and stuff, whatever, that are,
yes,
a lot
some
of them,
judges are elected, yes.
Right. It's very interesting. Right. And from state to state, some states are different than others.
And vote for vote for some good damn family court judges so they don't get up.
But the thing is like,
that's another.
You see the ballot, and you go and you look down ballot, and you see that there's that you're electing judges or whatever, and it says that there's these couple judges that are up, and it shows just the one name. It doesn't show any other name. It doesn't show that there's anybody that's contesting the seat. Well, how come there's nobody contesting the seat? It sounds like it might be a little bit of corruption that's going on. You really need to question who's all sitting in those positions that you're just marking down ballot because, there's nobody against them, whatever. We'll just, check that off. And
a lot of places they have a write-in place. I think pretty much every ballot there's a space where you can write in.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And
you can put down your own name if you want.
There's people that go off and they're like, hey, I didn't get on the ballot or whatever because either I didn't have enough money or maybe that they just didn't want them on the ballot because hey, we already chose our Republican person, shut up. Like, well, we'll put in our guy, so you shut up and stick it. So write-ins are an option if that is a thing that has to happen or needs to happen for a specific seat possibly in your locality or whatever.
Right.
Sheriff included, whatever. There's such things as write-in candidates. They run on a write-in option because, like I said, whether they get shoved off the ballot or they just don't have the money or whatever, and they say, "Hey, I'm a write-in candidate. Vote for me. Write my name in." There's things like that. There's other people you can write in. Whatever. Pay attention. Look up, research these people. Talk to other people that you know. And talk to different people of varying sides. Get a informed view, not a biased view. And make sure you understand these individuals that you vote for. So, at any rate, there you have it.
Yeah. So, think we're sitting at almost 2 hours. It was actually pretty good. That wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
We actually let it play for quite a bit there, as opposed to actually stopping and
yeah. Yep.
I hope RSPN's fine with that. Thank you again.
Oh, I'm
wonderful
sure
job. Thanks for doing what you do. Continue doing that good job. All that being said, everybody should actually go to AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com.
That's AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com, the most based t-shirts on the planet. I am not a biologist or a doctor, but that's what the website says. That's that's just what it says there, folks. Like I said, I'm not a biologist, so I wouldn't know. But you can get 15% off any shirt in the store with the discount code Koolfrogg. That is 15% off any shirt in the store with the discount code Koolfrogg. And go buy yourself a base t-shirt. And when you wear those shirts, people see the truth, right? So go check that out for yourselves. And again, check out my Rumble channel. That is spelled America Shirts, as you see on the screen, capital A, capital S, all together as one word. And you search it in the Rumble, and you will find it. And it has mostly Russia-Ukraine videos right now at the time of this posting. I have like 180 some subscribers on Rumble, so go check out those videos of what the left and the right are not telling you about what is going on with the Russia-Ukraine situation over there. So go check that all out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. Do what he's actually telling you to do. Go check out his websites. The stuff that you actually find on the Russian Ukraine stuff is very, very interesting. If you're only listening to one
so
side
based.
story,
It
you're
cannot be
not
found
getting
on
the
YouTube.
whole right. You're not actually
Direct.
listening if you're only paying attention to one side, because that's the way it works. You have to pay attention to both sides. And then, of course, if you're interested in supporting me, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. Go there, help me out, do what you can. Otherwise, if you want to follow me anywhere else, there's a linktree/Koolfrogg. These links are all down below. You go click on that, and there's several different places that you can follow me. I do have content on different platforms. I want to try to do some other stuff and try adding more to my shows. I'm in the current process of actually moving. So things are going to get packed up, and I'm not going to be able to have access to certain things for a little while.
His computer's gonna be in a box.
I know, right? It's so sad.
It's terribly
But
sad.
it needs to actually travel with me, so that way we can actually get to where we're going.
Yeah, you need to get one of those
And
cars
once we
with like
get
an
there-
AC adapter plug-in and just like plug your PC tower and just do it on the river.
Yeah, right. And, I don't think that would actually happen, and I do not have a good enough phone to actually download Studio onto my phone to do like a little where I'm at type of thing or whatever. And I know there's plenty of people that actually go and they have these nice phones, and they go and they download Studio, and then they go and they travel around with their phone and show you what's going on. I'm not going to do that. Nope, not going to happen. Nope.
You don't love me.
Nope, I don't. I really seriously don't. I feel the same way about every single person on the face of the planet. I hate everyone equally.
My God. I'm gonna
And
cry.
the hate should be mutual. And when I say mutual, it means you go and you subscribe to this channel and show your hate for me.
Yes, it's like the T-shirt that's sold on one of those stores.
Seriously,
by
they should call it a hate button. It'd be great. You know how many people would actually go and bump it because they're like, yeah, this guy. Hit that hate button. Do whatever you can.
Right, it's like the T-shirt. I hate Alex Jones.
Oh. So, I'm going to have to go and watch that. Apparently, there's some graphic content of the people that were in the subways this morning in New York City, or yesterday morning, whatever, that they've released. I want to watch this, and I'm not going to put it on here because it just wouldn't make sense. This was the Trump thing. So, and I'm not saying that you should go and vote for Trump either. And there's nowhere that I say do that. The only thing that I say you should do is you should do your research on both sides. Do the research, know what you're actually looking at. Don't just sit there and take our word for any of it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Do your own research. Take your own word for it. When you actually see the truth, you'll understand where certain people come from, and why they say what they say, and why they believe in what they believe in. And you can't just go mainstream media. Get off the TV.
No.
Get off the TV. The TV's not your friend.
Correct.
Never has been, never will be.
Yep.
I mean, they've actually gone to the point of actually, ruining your sports and your whatever else by actually making, political gestures on, it just, Get off the TV.
Yep. I mean, you can use your TV for all kinds of different things, but like get off the cable, get off of the mainstream that displays itself on your TV all the time. Yeah, exactly. Get off of that. Totally. I use like internet connected stuff to my TV. I use my TV like a giant. It's like I have a Roku type of thing, so I can get whatever little app thing I want and listen to whoever I want, like whether it be a radio.
No, yeah, exactly. When
I'm
I'm sitting around because I want to actually listen to YouTube loud enough or whatever, where I can go into the next room, I turn on the TV that's sitting here. That's exactly hooked to a Roku player. And then I go and I turn on YouTube there. That way I can turn up my TV loud enough so I can hear it in the rest of the house.
Right. That way you control what's on your TV.
Right.
Yep. But yes, get off the TV.
And I go and I watch other people and watch their content. Watch people like The Expert. Oh my God, so fun to watch. It's just hilarious to listen to.
Yes, he's great.
And subscribe to everybody. Don't just be like, oh, I'm only going to subscribe to the people that I have something that I actually want to listen to or whatever. I mean, obviously you do that, but if you subscribe to everybody, just do it. It doesn't matter who you
beats us all up.
Right, help everybody. Why are we worried about one person over the other?
I mean, if I had like 85 million subscribers, like, okay, maybe if you didn't want to subscribe, like, okay, but like, other people like, Koolfrogg here, like these other people, they don't have too many subscribers.
That's right, I'm sitting at 33 subscribers on YouTube. I'm like, yay. Looks like I lost somebody on the Twitch side. It looks like it says I only have 2 followers.
That might have been our liberal friend.
It doesn't tell me who's...
Maybe not,
I don't know how to use the Twitter all that well. I haven't played with it enough.
Just give you their address, go to their house and ask them why. No, I'm just kidding.
Go knock on your door. No, but again, anybody that actually subs to me, you get Discord link if you actually come talk to me. If you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of AmericaShirts.
Yes.
There's only one of him.
At AmericaShirtsSurfers.com, the most pasty shirts on the planet. And, of course, anybody that sees you, and when you get a shirt, anybody that sees you will see the truth. And while you're there getting one of those shirts, you can also scroll down to my email and shoot me an email.
You come here, you support me. That way I can go support AmericaShirts. And then you go and support AmericaShirts after that. You have to do it in sequence. It doesn't work otherwise. You got to do me first. Oh. That didn't sound right. You need to support me first. Because that's the way it works.
What?
Stop it.
Okay, Fluffer Frog. 2004.
AmericaShirts are fluffer.
Our fluffer?
Oh, I suppose everybody.
Yeah, if you have,
wonderful,
you can shoot me an email if you feel. A lot of people feel more comfortable shooting emails than sending messages. So like you could send me like an email. And I think Koolfrogg has an email in his link tree. But
you know what the easiest way to do this is you look at my name. You're like it's Koolfrogg, and you type that in anywhere. Koolfrogg at gmail.com. This one's anywhere. Doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't matter what kind of thing you're doing. You're sitting in Steam. You're sitting in Xbox. You got a Switch. Any of that stuff. And you go. Twitter. Almost seriously, just put in Koolfrogg wherever you want. You'll be surprised. You'll find me. You'll find me almost everywhere. If you don't find me somewhere and there's somewhere that you're like, hey, he needs to be here, let me know. I'll go and totally sign up for it right away. And you can be my first follower there.
It's like some Greenland, Reddit club or something. It's like, hey.
Right, exactly. See, some of those, I really need to figure out how to use some of that stuff. I really just don't have the time time's going to be, you know, will be something here eventually where I'll have a little bit more time, and we'll start to get into a little bit more stuff.
Yeah. Woohoo.
It might go back a little bit to the way I wanted it to be before I went and got this job. Last 3 months. This daily job, you know, whatever. It's a part time, but I mean, they're nice enough to me. They gave me like 3 days a week. Some of them 4, which is, you know, more than they actually told me they were going to give me in the first place. It was wonderful. I was able to actually save up enough money to actually go and make this move.
Yeah, boy.
It's a big move. It's great. Again, and you know, come find me. Come find AmericaShirts. We're gonna go away. Thank you, everybody.
Later, peeps.
Where is it? Okay, here it is.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Oh, didn't you want me to do something with this thing?
Perfectly. It's about being made in America. A lot of that has to do with this industry.
Even the birds take a shit on him because they know how much. Anyway, they know how much shit he is.
Later, everybody.